Like, have you ever had that moment in a relationship where you have a conflict and it seems to keep getting worse no matter what happens? Like it escalates and escalates and escalates. Hands up if you ever had that experience at any point in your life where it was hard to resolve the conflict. The intention here is to give you a structure so that that does not escalate. And we'll talk about what that looks like. But first, let's have a little bit of fun. We're actually going to call some participants up. Sean, welcome. And by the way, Sebastian, is Julie joining us also? Yes? Okay, cool. So we're going to look for somebody new. And since we have fresh meat in the house, we have a voluntold. Chris Sweeney is going to be our first competitor on resolving conflicts. So, Chris, welcome to the stage. Let's start off with just telling us a little bit about you. So, please introduce yourself a little bit to the team, and then you'll get to pick who you're going to resolve a conflict with. So, about you, Chris, mic's to you.
Yeah, I'm Chris Sweeney, new to the Tony Robbins Platinum community and also to the LoveJAAM community. Um, let's see, I am an equity trader. I have a background in real estate, private equity. I'm up in New Hampshire right now, enjoying some snow, doing some ski racing. Actually, just had the end of a season on Wednesday and end of season race. Let's see. Yeah, I you know went through a little bit of a difficult period over the last year or two, and think that finding some guidance from Tony Robbins and from others in this community has been really helpful and kind of helping me find a way to process a lot of that and forge a path forward. So yeah.
Now, if I remember right, there's like this fun fact about you that I read just the other day, something about living out on the streets. Can you share a little bit
Yeah,
about that with everyone here?
absolutely. Yeah. So I have been sleeping on the street as part of a sleep out to support homeless kids. And it's to support a 501c charity called Covenant House that has I think they have about 35, 36 shelters throughout North America and South America, predominantly in the US and Canada. And yeah, have raised money for them and helped raise awareness. And it's an experience that really kind of transforms you when you do it. I mean, there's a lot of charities out there and there's a lot of people asking for money for things, but when you may want to take it a step further and get involved and actually go do something, it's kind of another layer. And this is something where you can go show up and experience, a little glimpse in a safe way of what these kids go through. And, I've done it in November in New York City about 9 times now. And every time it's quite an experience. We get to meet some of the kids who are helped. We get to hear their stories. And then we go outside and we try to sleep on, on a piece of cardboard with a sleeping bag. And I say, try to sleep because it's quite a struggle. And it's usually a long night, but it's a very reflective night for that reason. And it's a good excuse to spread the word and tell others about the experience. And so, yeah, it's something that's really resonated with me. And the problem just seems to be getting bigger. I mean, the numbers are like 4.2 million young people in the US are expected to experience homelessness this year. And that number is just growing rapidly. So it's, yeah. And we've heard through Tony Robbins, some of the, charities supporting trafficked youth. Covenant House sees their fair share of kids who've been trafficked. About 1 in 5 in the US have been trafficked, and 1 in 2 in Latin America are victims of human trafficking when they show up to, this shelter. And this is a shelter specifically designed for young people. It's not for adults. And typically kids are not really safe at adult homeless shelters. So they need another solution. And this is a solution that's really, they cultivate a great environment. When you're inside there, you can feel it. You can feel the energy of the caretakers and the mission that they're on to really help these kids in a non-judgmental way. So
No, it's
We,
extraordinary. Go ahead,
we
Becky.
could really feel your passion and just really honored
Yeah,
to have you here because I know
thank you.
it's a personal aspect for you and for us to see an example of someone who has lived that, actually been homeless from such a humble background. And for you to come on here and now you're part of Plaid and now you're creating extraordinary things and making an impact with Covenant House. It's really, I see you as a visionary. You're going so far with this mission.
Yeah, just to clarify, I've not been homeless myself. I've, slept out kind of in solidarity with
Yes.
with
Yeah,
kids who've
definitely.
experienced homelessness
Yeah.
to raise money. And I'm just very thankful I've not had to go through what they go through. Because
And I think it's so amazing just that you intentionally put yourself through that experience in order to even better relate. And there's something magical about that, and something that not a lot of people hear, but it's actually publicly known is, oh my God, I just had his name a second ago in my head. Tony, the guy that runs UPW for Tony. No, UPW. I can't believe it. Uh, it doesn't matter.
Joseph.
Anyway, Joseph, thank you. Joseph McClendon III. Did you know he was homeless?
Oh, yes.
no, I didn't know that.
He was a homeless teen.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's just an example in that he actually, the reason he calls himself Joseph now
Joseph
is
McClendon III.
is because Joseph McClendon III, a royal type name, would never be homeless. He used to call himself Joe when he was a teen. And he changed it intentionally. And what I experienced from you is there's these different levels of giving. Okay, and this might be important to write down, by the way. To me, money, like, yeah, that's taking a resource, but it's the easiest to give as far as the amount of effort that goes into it. So people tend to give money pretty quickly as long as they have it. But if they don't have money, they give this excuse of, well, I can't give because I don't have money. What I would propose is that there's this next level of giving, which is time, right? All of us have time that we can give. And Chris, you happen to be doing both time and money. So it's a second level. And there's an amount of effort now that gets involved, right? And so it's like a medium effort versus low effort on money. At the highest end is knowledge. All of us can give knowledge. It takes us going and getting the knowledge to be able to share the knowledge, which also now takes time, right? So that's to me, giving knowledge is the highest level of giving that we can ever do. Tony speaks about that. Joseph McClendon III talks about that, right? That's the reason they went and learned all this and they share it with the world. And they happen to make money off of it now because they give so much value. And so, Chris, that's what I'm hearing from you is the value you give. So thank you for doing that by sharing really at all three levels.
Yeah, and some of this experience with the Tony Robbins community has really kind of started introducing that third level a little bit because, I went to Business Mastery and our group kind of circled up and was like, oh, what are the things we should support? And there were a few ideas, and then everyone disappeared and like nobody could be reached. And so I just kind of was like, okay, I'm going to take the lead and pick a cause and lead a group and then just invite people to join. And people showed up, and I chose Covenant House and this sort of initiative. So kind of kept it alive on another level. And right now I'm actually helping a friend do a Todd Hartley lead generation course for an actual business that she owns that I invested in. And in the back of my head, I'm like, I want to run this process for Covenant House. I want to actually start a lead generation process for donors or for people to sleep out. And that to me is just an interesting way because I'm not sure anyone's applied that architecture to, the philanthropic side. But I want to be a catalyst. I want to lead a sleep out among the Platt community or the LoveJAAM community or a broader community that like, what are the savvy kind of ways that you could get information out there that maybe Covenant House isn't doing. So
love hearing that. And you got a great community in the Platt community to be able to support that. So with that, let's jump into the game because that's the intention here is to have a lot of fun. Thank you so much for introducing yourself to everybody here. And of course, this is recorded and we'll be sharing the recording as well. So with that, you get to choose who you want to have a breakdown with, a conflict with, and
And the
there's
only criteria is that it needs to be someone of the opposite gender.
yes.
Mostly
Okay.
because this is a relationship call. I mean, unless, we don't know these things,
There's no
but
judgment,
there's
right?
no judgment.
So you get to choose, and though she's not on camera, there is Sebastian, has Julie in the background, who you haven't met yet, Sarah, who you know is a part of our peer group, and then Annie is also available. So you get to choose whoever you're most comfortable or least comfortable with, whichever you want. If you like to play big, maybe go least comfortable.
All right. Yeah. Trying to read the room,
So many choices.
see what the interest level is. Yeah, and Annie, let's start off and start off. I'd love to play the game with you.
Okay, you're up, baby.
I'm up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So rules of the game is everyone else are now judges.
Okay.
And we're going to first present you with a random scenario. Do we have a random scenario?
Yes. Let's see. So she will be playing somebody that you've been seeing for a while. Okay. And well, since he's the one actually presenting the conflict, we got to come up with something a little bit different. So
Yeah. So shall we use the wheel?
let's use the wheel.
We have a wheel, a
Bring
different
out the wheel.
the wheel, and this is called the wheel of randomness. So it's kind of like Mad Lib, where you spin, and let's see, Sean will come up and tell us a topic that Chris is upset with me about. So Sean,
How could he be upset with you? This makes no sense, but okay.
Sean, what is it gonna be?
All right. Hi, everyone. So the topic is, let's see. Let's say it's taking out the garbage.
He's
Mm.
upset with me for taking out the garbage or not taking out the garbage.
I guess not taking out the garbage.
For like piling it up ridiculously high, and it's so high that it's like spilling out. There's messes on the ground now. There's eggshells and banana peels all over the place.
Okay.
Is that right, Sean?
That's perfect. Exactly what I was envisioning.
And Chris, do you have any other questions about this scenario?
Oh, let's make it so this is a common occurrence.
Awesome.
On top of that, this is not a one-time event. She always does this.
Okay.
And you've brought it up multiple times. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Sean.
All right.
With that, we need 3 minutes on the clock.
Yes. And John is gonna.
Can I just give a little background? Chris, I don't know if you've seen this, but you're essentially trying to fix the conflict, right?
Yes.
Yep, you resolve the conflict.
Yeah. So this is aftermath. This is the aftermath. And Chris, the context is that this thing happened. Obviously, you're bothered, upset, or however you feel about it. And now you're trying to talk to me about this issue.
That's really all it is.
Yes.
Resolve the conflict in 3 minutes or less. That's your job.
3 minutes or less.
Yes.
Okay.
You ready?
Ready?
I'm ready.
Set, go.
So Annie, if if now's a good time, there's something I wanted to connect with you on. I came back from my trip, and yeah, it was a wonderful trip. I was off skiing, and I came back, and I was walking through the kitchen. I just noticed we have ants. Yeah, I think there's ants in the home.
Oh.
And I don't know, ants. Yeah, they kind of gross me out. I'm not really feeling living with ants, and they're not paying any rent. And so I don't think it's right that we let them live here for free. And I don't know. I tried to look into this a little bit and figure out, like, why are there ants? And I went over to the trash can. It turns out, the trash hasn't been taken out, since before I left for the trip. And there's food there. There's, just an endless amount of garbage. And I don't know. I know you've always been good about taking out the trash.
Yeah.
And
I mean, we talked about this before. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I hate ants. You know how I feel about ants. It's just they're so gross, and I don't even want to be near it.
they're not pets, right? Like you don't want them here either. Is that
No,
right?
I want them gone. That's gross.
I mean, this has never happened before. I know you've always been really good and proactive about taking out the trash when I'm not around. So I don't know if there was something that happened, or if
Well, I
I'd
mean,
love
I
to
don't
hear
know.
like what.
It's super heavy because, I'm pregnant and it's just like it's hard to lift out of it. And I know you told me last time that you don't want me lifting heavy things. So I like
Right.
as I just like I don't know, I'm not even touching it. It's just like that's like
Hmm.
yeah, I don't even want to deal with it.
I'm just curious, like, is there another approach that could like get the trash out, out of the kitchen, but not have you lift heavy loads? Like,
I don't know. Can you just take it out since you're home already? Just do
well, I
it.
can absolutely take it out this time, but like if I go on another trip, maybe it would be good that we, make a plan to make sure that, we don't invite these ants back after we kick them out.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I, I don't know. Maybe we could get like smaller trash bags or multiple trash cans, and like if you're up for it, maybe it would be easier to take them out one at a time. And if that doesn't work, like I'd be up for having like a cleaner come by. Would you be open to like getting a
Yeah,
cleaner,
I
and
would
maybe they could
love
take
it
care of
for
this
someone
for
for you
us?
to do it for me. That would be ideal. Like I don't
Wonderful.
even want to deal with it.
Yeah. Well, it's getting a little old for me. So maybe we could agree to hire a cleaner, have them come in twice a week.
Sure. Can you just deal with that?
All right. That was awesome. Chris, fantastic job.
All
So
right.
how did that feel for you?
Um, yeah, felt okay, but I think Annie was maybe a little bit dismissive of her involvement in the way the situation transpired. I didn't really feel that scene in you know like she didn't acknowledge whether she was aware that the trash had been piling up, or the fact that there's ants walking around the kitchen, like any of that. So I kind of feel um almost like I had to like babysit her a little bit.
Hmm. Okay. Very good. Annie, how was it for you?
Well, I was playing a bitch because
Yeah.
I was whispering earlier, I said, be tougher.
Yeah.
I'm like interrupt. I'm like, okay, I could do that. I thought that you were very accommodating, and it made it difficult for me to really counter and even attack you for anything because you took responsibility for everything and then you wanted to create a solution. And even though I was being a little brat, like it didn't seem like it moved you, like it bothered you. You seemed unshakable from my perspective. And so we're gonna go into some feedback now.
Yeah, by the way, that was totally normal, Annie. So you all see the sweet Annie. That was like, yeah, can't you just take care of it? Like, yep. So with that, let's get you some other feedback. Let's pull up Sarah onto the screen, give some feedback. What was great, Sarah? And then what could be even better?
Okay. Good morning. What was great was that I felt like he was trying to be very much aware of what she needed. And he was being very careful to not attack. Like it almost seemed like he didn't even want to say, the pile. I don't know if I ever heard you say the pile was, so you were just so like, there's this other problem that really bothered me. And so you were being very like, I don't want to attack you. And it was very like, there's this reason why I'm not happy with it. And so I felt like you were trying to paint the bigger picture. And I thought you were being very very like quick to like, okay, yeah, how do I help you? Like smaller trash cans, lots of trash bags. Lots. Do we give them a sign that says, you're not allowed here? Like,
Yeah.
Signage. That's hilarious.
So Sarah, what could be even better? And then a score out of 10.
Okay. What could be even better would be more direct of the issue and being and maybe a little bit more accountable, like what he felt when he saw that. So for right now, first time and everything, I give him a 6. Thought it was amazing.
Okay, so for you, it was there was an you feel like he did not address the issue and also his feelings around it, and you would have preferred that he did that?
Yeah, it wasn't super clear, yeah, the answer, but like how he felt about the relationship with you when this happened.
Okay. Yeah, because then I could have been off guard if I didn't know how he felt, whether this is like a stacking issue. He seems so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, very great.
Yeah, and by the way, Chris, I hope you appreciate this. This is what the value of this exercise is you are getting that feedback on here's how somebody else experienced this type of conflict, because this is probably how you normally address something, no matter how much it might be bugging you, is that it might be soft. That's the feedback that Sarah's giving. So she was unclear, is what I'm hearing, Sarah. Like, is this a big deal? Is it not a big deal? Because if it's not, it doesn't feel like a big deal. So fuck it, I'll blow it off again. Is that what I'm hearing, Sarah?
Yeah, like it was easy for Annie to be like, well, can you just do it? And he's like, okay, we'll just get someone else to do it.
Great feedback.
All right.
Let's bring up Julie and Sebastian.
Sarah, is there an example of how I could be?
You'll get that.
Okay.
Yeah, hang in there.
All right. Our lovely couple here who'd like to go first.
Julie.
Okay, sure. So I thought it was fantastic, by the way. And it didn't dawn on me until Sarah just so okay, what I liked was how, Chris, how you came up with solutions that would work for Annie. That was amazing. And I love the solution in the end of, okay, we'll get somebody to do it. Perfect. I would like that solution. Yeah, is this just Chris or Annie? I mean, you were kind of playing.
Yeah, just Chris.
Okay.
Yes.
And then I think what could be better is, in the long run, I think to enhance the relationship, what could be better is more of how it affected you on a feeling basis. I think that's where Sarah was going. So that then, because I kind of just tend to want things my way, so I would be perfectly satisfied with your response, seemingly, but I wouldn't really get to know you better and how you feel about things and how my behavior impacts you, unless you share a little bit more of that with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or Julie.
Score. Yeah. 8.
Ooh, pretty good. Sebastian, what do you think?
Before we go there, I just want to get a pattern here. So you might notice a pattern, Chris, that they're actually both looking for how do I connect with you more?
The women.
Not how do we solve the problem. The women are how do we connect even better? Sebastian.
Yeah, and for me, I had to step out for a moment and deal with the handyman. What I did notice indeed was the solution mindedness, which I also really recognize, but like, hey, really like, okay, let's how do we solve this? How do we solve that? How do we solve that? So it's indeed, that's also what you both are pointing out. It's like, so that's good, but it's not the whole thing. So that's basically I recognize it personally that I can do that a lot, and then still there's some things that are not fulfilling. Still there's things that are also not from my side. So I recognize it. So in that way, I would give it a 7, because the stretch is to fill that, to find the blank and to work on that part.
Yeah, excellent. All right, and he did.
He did. Okay.
I think you said a 7, right?
7.
Okay, I missed that.
Okay,
Very good.
excellent.
Let's get Sean.
Thank you. Sean, what do you say?
Alrighty, hi. Yeah, so I would say overall, I like the way you presented the issue. It was calm and controlled. I would say though, the part that could be better would be, I think, being more direct. I wasn't sure what the problem was. I thought maybe it was the non-payment of the rent was the issue, And so,
The ants.
and so yeah,
Sean has
that's
this like chill way of giving a funny statement.
so yeah, I think being more direct as far as the trash, hey, the trash is the problem here. And the effect of that trash is we have ants. But I guess I would say, just being a little more direct, and my score would be a 7.
Brilliant. Thank
Outstanding.
you.
So Chris, what really what was great to me was that immediately it was like light, and that there was humor, and you kind of had her like a little bit off guard because it was like, wait, this is actually kind of fun. So that was cool. What could be even better is, yeah, what is the problem? Like, what are we addressing here? I was unclear about what you were feeling.
Mm.
And so working with the feminine, it's often about the feeling, right? And that's what we're trying to connect with, not just the logic of, hey, we got this trash problem. So what I give you is, I'm actually going to give you an 8. I thought for a first run, you did fantastic, that you kept it light. I think you followed a bit of a structure there, and that was really cool. So with that,
And I want to share that I told you what was great was that it was really hard to be mad at you. And even though I raised so many obstacles and you started with humor and it was just light, it didn't actually feel like a conflict. It just felt like something we were talking about. So in that way, I thought it was really brilliant how you had approached it. I think what could be even better, this is actually a point for you and not so much for me, because I can see a situation where when we're not expressing how we're really feeling, I could imagine how frustrating it might be for you to have someone not hear you and not acknowledge you. Or I think this is what you said in the aftermath, right? It's like, wow, I didn't own up anything. I didn't even recognize that this was a problem. And there could be that pent up frustration that the other party has no clue, right? And I would give you actually I would give you a 9 out of 10 for conflict. The point that I'm concerned with is actually your feeling afterwards, because I think a lot of times, because you come across to me as you're so kind and considerate and sweet, and I feel like sometimes people might not hear you, and so you're not getting what you deserve out of the relationship.
So if we were to take that and say it directly, and by the way, we'll do a hands up here in a second just for the men, right? Is it came across as a nice guy. And I'm just curious, have any of you ever been accused of being the nice guy? All right.
And when Chris, when you shared that feedback after the conversation, of course, I did not pick up on that feeling at all. When you shared that feedback, I had a sinking feeling in my heart, like I'm so sorry that you felt that way. That was never my intention. It actually hit me in a totally different way that I didn't even catch on that. Like I didn't even realize that you experienced that during the conversation.
You didn't know he was even bothered.
I didn't think you were bothered. I didn't think you were affected. And if this was a real situation, I could have just walked off, continue my day, and be like my happy self, right? Like, oh, cool, Chris is back.
And so I got one more hands up question. This one's for the ladies in the room, and there's only 3, so that's okay. But how many of you, I'll state this very carefully, only put your hands up if the answer is yes on this, okay? And it's like an emphatic yes. Put your hands up if you love nice guys. So just notice, right? And now, how many of you love it when a man gives clarity and direction? Hands up if you like that. Okay, so that's the feedback, and that's what we're looking for. And it's doing it in a way that is not threatening, because this is what nice guys tend to do, is we don't feel heard. And I'm recovering nice guy. I'm the founder of NGA, Nice Guys Anonymous. So I know exactly what it's like, right? When we don't communicate, we tend to get frustrated. Men, have you ever had that? If you feel like you're unheard, so you get frustrated. Yes? Okay. And then as we get frustrated, does the energy go up, like more intense, and we get mad? Or does it go down and we just, right? Because everyone's different, by the way. And we just kind of sulk. It's one of those two typically, right? We either get mad or we sulk and we disengage. And usually it's get mad first, and then we still aren't heard, and we actually get accused of like attacking. And so then we shut up and we don't talk at all. And that's why you don't share. And that's when partners tend to leave, is when we stop talking. So the goal here is to create a structure so that we can communicate in a way that is clear and calm at the same time. So most of you have heard this structure. Chris hasn't, so we'll give it to him now. And so Chris, the structure, I think I sent you the rapid repair method at one point. And
Yeah, you
I've
did.
also sent you the text. So you've heard the structure, but we'll deliver it again. And it really just starts first with communicating the experience, right? So just what are the facts, right? And actually even before that, I'd pre-frame, especially if I'm working with the feminine. And the pre-frame is going to sound something like what you did. Hey, baby, I'd like to talk to you about something. You know, I came home from this trip and there's some stuff bugging me. You may have noticed it. And I want you to know, like, I'm not upset. I want to be able to share clearly, like, what I experienced. And I want to make sure that's okay. But we're good. Like, our relationship's rock solid. There's just this little thing that's bothering me. I want to talk to you about. It's now a good time. And so now I've created some level of safety that, hey, this is going to be okay. It's not like he's mad. He's not going to throw stuff at me. He's not going to punch a wall, right? I'm good. He's not breaking up. Because one of the first thoughts women will go to is, oh my God, he's mad. I'm unsafe. He's going to leave me. Fear of abandonment, right? So we set that frame. Then I'm going to communicate the facts. And when I came home, I noticed that the trash was overflowing. There's more trash in it than the trash can could hold. It's just what I noticed. I also noticed that there were ants around the trash can, and there was a trail of ants through the house. Facts. When I saw that, I started feeling really upset. I actually had some anger coming up in me. So now I'm communicating this emotion of what's coming up for me. And there's 5 emotions, keep them simple: sad, mad, scared, happy, excited. And this will be in the chat. Third is, and the story I started making up is that you don't really care about the house, or that, you know, that maybe you think that this is all on me and it's only my responsibility to make sure the house is taken care of. There's this story, and it's very important we say the story I made up is, because we're communicating that this is not a fact. I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm just like making up the story. And number 4 is the whole key to this exercise is, and I know that's not true because. And now we're actually using our neurological patterns, right? And taking advantage that we have this prefrontal cortex that is now searching back in memory for times where it's not true. And so it might sound something like, I know that's not true because you're pregnant. You're probably just thinking, I shouldn't lift heavy stuff. And I know I told you you shouldn't lift heavy stuff. And, you know, really what I want is this, the request. What I really want is to make sure we don't have ants crawling around, because that's not safe for you. It's not safe for, you know, the baby that's coming, and this current situation isn't working. And so if it's okay, I want to just share like 2 options. I think is 1, we could hire someone to take care of it, or 2, we could get like smaller trash bags. Which one do you think works better for you? And so now I've given her options, and she can give input on options. By the way, ladies, would you prefer that or the open-ended question? Hands up if you prefer options of solutions. Okay. And then put your hands up if you want, yeah, what do you think we should do about it? Yeah, see, they don't want to come up with a solution, but they're happy to choose a solution, right? And opposite for men, right? Guys, hands up if you want to be asked the open-ended question. Hey, what do you think we should do about this? Because you probably already have like 10 solutions available. Hands up if you prefer the open-ended, right? And hands up if you want her to tell you what to do. Okay, so notice like that we're different, feminine and masculine. So Chris, what is your biggest takeaway from what I just shared?
You know, I think with the structure, it kind of keeps you, it can keep a kind of a predetermined plan in place. that, gets what you want to say across, but maybe prevents an escalation or prevents things going in a direction you're not expecting. Or
You got it. Because also when we have a structure, we tend to have more certainty or less certainty, Chris.
Yeah, more certainty.
More certainty. So when we have that, we're able to actually influence the other person as well. In any conversation, whoever has the most certainty will influence the other person, right? And so you want to make safety. And if you're calm and chill, so ladies, if we're coming in, just get more feedback, and a man's coming in with that calm but certain energy, do you feel better or worse? Hands up if you feel better, right? So that's the goal here, is provide that certainty. And by the way, hands up if you feel safer if he is calm and certain.
And surprisingly, at least for me, and maybe validated with Julie and Sarah, is I feel safer knowing what he's thinking and feeling than being caught off guard. Because now I know that he doesn't like it when I do these things. And even though I may not like it in the moment, but at least I know he's not going to randomly explode on me. And it just it gives me the sense of okay, I know what we're dealing with here. There are no surprises. The thing that has really, really worked is that 3 and 4, right? The story I made up is because it really gives us permission to share what we're actually thinking and feeling, and have a buffer right underneath that. It's got to be quick though. You can't go on a 10-minute rant about the story that I made up is that you're such a terrible person. That doesn't go too well.
Not attacking.
But it gives us an opportunity to at least share. I feel like the story I made up is that you're not really you don't care about me and you don't love me and I'm not the top of your mind. But I know that's not true, because I know you love me, because you've always shown, and then that buffer for the number 4, that is what has, at least for me, right? That is what has me feel okay, he hears me, and then I don't have to defend myself. Because a lot of the times when we get into these disagreements, both parties feel like they have to defend their point of view, because that's not true. I care about you so much. And then the other person doesn't feel heard, right? So really, by you bringing it up, the other person can just listen to you and not have to interject to justify their behaviors.
It's so cool too. There's actually brain processes happening right there. So in the very beginning, our amygdala is do I need to fly, fight, flee, or hide?
Freeze.
Right? And so for women, it's often I need to go hide. As soon as you say, I know that's not true, the amygdala is oh, wait, we're not in danger. Right? So it chills out and both of you are back into relationship really, really quickly. That's the goal here. Now, the pre-frame, I don't want to understate that, because if you have a partner, for example, that likes to interrupt midway through, then in the pre-frames, I just want to get through this. If you could please wait, because at the end, I've got a solution I want to share with you. I just want to get some of this energy out with you so you kind of know what I'm thinking and feeling. So can you please hear me all the way out? And then get a yes. So now there's permission, right? All of these things are key, is how you set it up. So with that, what we're going to do before we go into questions, because you might have some, we want to actually have you play this out now that you have a structure. Okay?
Okay.
All right. And we're going to go ahead and put time back on the clock. And this is what's cool, is we're going to give you 2 minutes.
Now you're pro.
Right? And you can see how quickly things can be resolved, and you'll get another round of feedback. Sound good?
Yes, sounds good.
As he runs away.
Yeah.
All right. So with that,
water. Get me going.
Perfect. And we are ready to go. And 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Hey, Annie. Wanted to connect you. I wanted to talk to you about something. You may have noticed it. It's not something I'm upset about, but I wanted to share it with you. We're totally good. There's just this little thing that came up. I came home from this trip and I see this, large pile of trash and ants in the kitchen. And, you know, it made me feel kind of sad and scared that like I can't go away because, you know, you're not going to be, you know, supported when I'm not around, or on a trip like this. But, you know, I made up a story that like, you know, you don't care about keeping the house clean or, you know, taking care of yourself. And I know that's not true because, you know, you've always done great in the past at doing that stuff. And I know you care about me and us and want this to be successful, but you know, I really just wanted to, you know, bring forward a solution and see if it's something that would work for you. So, you know, I thought of you know, two things. Maybe we could have like a house cleaner come in and take care of this for both of us. You know, or we could, you know, I know you're pregnant and the trash is probably heavy and it's you know, it's a bit of you know, manual work to take care of it. But, you know, maybe if it was like, you know, in smaller bunches, that would be easier to manage or something you could do just, you know, every day when you're on your way out, you could take a little bit. You know, would one of those options work for you?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good with either. And
Okay,
sorry,
great.
I didn't, you know, I wasn't looking at the trash, but I'm sorry you came back to a really messy house.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, thanks for saying that. That means a lot.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
So how did that feel, Chris?
Yeah, felt more organized and yeah, I had to kind of jam through it pretty quick, but you know, with a little more planning, like if I was going to have a, you know, conversation like that, I would have the chance to kind of plan it out and maybe get something that worked a little smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, what works is just the reps. Just practice this over and over. That's the reason we do this call every week and why people keep showing up, right? Is because we get the reps into our body either by witnessing it or doing it. And then the structure guides the conversation. And the more you practice it, the lower or the less you need to prepare because you just go through the structure. Hey, here's what happened.
Yeah.
Here's what I felt. Like you don't have to overthink it. We get screwed if we overthink it and try to pre-plan all of this stuff. So just right. It's a great job.
I thought you were an extremely fast learner, Chris. I was really impressed. You just like you didn't even. I don't know if you were looking at the structure, but it just felt like you needed to get something out, and you did it. And it felt natural. And there was a point where, you know, the reason I apologized is because there was a feeling in me that's like, oh no, he's upset. Like I could feel that you were genuinely upset. Like I now know what the issue is because you're a lot more clear. And that's what prompted me to apologize and recognize this. So I thought that's pretty cool.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
So with that,
I would give you a 9. I'll give you a 9.6.
all right, 9.6.
All right.
All right, we're gonna pull up Julie and Sebastian. Let's give feedback.
Yeah, very nice. It felt very confident from the start to the end. Like, okay, hey, I want to share this, and that it came out really, really well. So yeah, really good.
What's the new score, Sebastian?
I don't know. Yeah, also like 9.5 or so. 9.5. Yeah.
From a 7 to a 9.5. Julie, what
Yes.
about you?
Yeah. So, yeah, it was very structured, very organized. You know, if it was me, I felt safe right at the beginning. And you moved through everything really quickly. And it brought tears to my eyes, you know, like how you felt, even though it was so quick and succinct. I really could like feel more compassion for you. And like it really humanized you. So it feels like it actually deepens the relationship and deepens my ability to be human with you, but also with others. So it helps me grow. And yeah, the only thing that I would say is that just at the beginning about the feeling safe, that's the part that could have been a little bit more expanded on, like, you know, I love you and we're good. And, you know, I mean, you did say we're good, but there could have been a tiny bit more security in there.
Yeah.
And other than that, yeah, it was amazing. And so I'd say 9.8.
Wow. Yeah, I need a lot of pampering, just so you know. All right, who do we gotta go to
Let's
next?
go, Sean. You wanna wrap
Go
up?
Sean and Sarah. Yeah, Sean and Sarah.
Okay, yeah, I'd say great job on that. I liked the delivery, and I felt you were very direct as far as what the problem was. So I think you did a really good job. And so I would say, yeah, I would. You're right there, 9.5.
Excellent. Sarah.
All right. Awesome, awesome job. I felt a lot of clarity and certainty from you. Like I saw your confidence elevate. And that to me, just alone, felt like, wow, he's so confident and he's so clear. I really want to know what he's saying. There was no vagueness. So I thought that was great. And your ask was also very not emotional. It was like you were still there, but it wasn't like heated or too soft. Like it was like a good middle. So I thought that was great. I give you a 9.5 as well. And if I could just add the what could be better for me as well, just I like the pre-frame to be a little bit more like check in, like are you okay? Like is this a good time? Like, but you did do the pre-frame. It was just for me, I think just a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because the last couple of weeks we talked a lot about that leadership that we want from our man. And I actually felt led in that conversation, Chris. I felt like you knew what you were doing, and it wasn't up to me to like boss around, whatever. It was just like, oh, he's a man on a mission. He's got something to talk about. I'm here to listen, and like, okay, yes, I'll do whatever you want.
Yeah, so Chris, I thought you did a fantastic job. And the ability to quickly pick it up and run with the structure, I thought was great. The pre-frame, you hit every single step of it. The opportunity for improvement, what could be even better is just what they're talking about is the pre-frame. Now, here's the key with the pre-frame is it's different for every single woman or man that you'll ever talk to. So your job is to understand what do they need in their life right now. So if you're dealing with someone that has a high need for significance, is going to be different than if they have a high need for love in that pre-frame. So that's the thing to be aware of. Do they need certainty? Cool, I'm going to frame it that way. So be aware of that, and you're going to nail it. And that's really, I think, the feedback that you're getting is that these three particular women have this need. So just be aware of that it may not always work if you just do it the way you got feedback on, right? So I'll give you a 9.8. I think your ability to pick it up quickly is awesome. We get tougher as you practice it more. So, the score might go down as you get the more structure. But I think just purely the ability to pick it up quickly, extraordinary. So great job.
Yeah. One of my bigger takeaways is like, and this is it's a little bit of a strange thing for me to realize, but like there was not really any chance for her to kind of dodge the issue or like act a little bit aloof or like treat me like a doormat. Like she was, she kind of had one shot at the end to like accept an option or suggest something else versus denying denying that there's a big pile of trash, for instance, or that she didn't notice it. Like so then you're left with like, if she didn't notice it, then you're left with like an option to react of like, well, how could you not notice it? It's like overflowing, it's smelly, there's ants, like, what what were you up to that you didn't notice this, right? So there's no opportunity to like get into further conflict with the structure.
It's so interesting that you said that because I don't know if it's the structure or I felt a completely different energy from you. So I don't know if it's the structure that gave you that level of certainty, but I didn't want to interrupt you.
Okay.
That's how I experienced it as well. And just let's do a quick check-in with Julie and Sarah as well. Was it hands up if his energy was kind of like, okay, I just need to listen. Hands up if that was the feeling. Okay.
Yeah. The first time around, it was like there was a little bit of tentativeness where it's like, well, if he's not sure, I'm going to give him the facts and, whatever it is. But the second time, it was like, he's here to do something. And it felt so different.
I also noticed the second time there was not a conversation about you. You didn't take out the trash. It was, hey, this trash is piling up. There's ants. I'm concerned about this situation. I'm not concerned about what you did wrong. You, whenever we say you, be ready. They're going to defend.
Oh,
This is true in any conversation. It puts a wall up in between. So it's a dirty word, right?
not dirty in the good sense, just
Yeah.
dirty.
Yeah, you didn't. In your case, Chris, it didn't come up, right?
Yeah.
You didn't say it. It was magical. So great job. Real quickly, just so that, because Julie and Sebastian, I don't think you know this, but we're actually doing a live event here in Vegas at the end of March. And I know you guys are over in Europe, so far away, but it's available if you decide you wanted to attend, and Chris will be talking to you more about it. Sarah and Sean have gone through the event and had great breakthroughs. This one is going to be a little bit different, Sarah and Sean, so be prepared.
And also, it's great because you're both in the same context now, so it'll be even more fun.
Yeah. So if that sounds interesting, let us know. We'll send you the info. And we're just so thrilled to have all of you here, especially as we work on expanding. Invite friends, invite guests. I think this is a really magical place where we get to practice something that comes up in our relationships, conflict, and learn how to resolve it so that it's not even a conflict anymore. It's just a conversation. Because to me, the conversation is the relationship. And so let's not avoid the relationship. So with that, have a fantastic day.